The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Maybe it's a little early to be asking you guys this, and I don't even know if I want to know, but...
Talk dirty to me.
Dirty talk? Is it a part of your daily routine?
Wow, what a way to start a Friday.
Phil, that's such an invasive question.
It is. It's very... Look, I don't... Dirty talk, talking dirty...
I would love to know what your version of dirty talk is.
But I... What does that mean? Like what everybody else's is probably. I don't know. Mine's a lot different.
I heard you were very creative.
I don't know. It's just one of those things that you're right. It's like, I guess it's interesting to know if somebody, you know.
Okay. I get my wife to refer to me as Coach O'Shea. Okay, there you go.
Coach.
Coach.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tell me about the 4 Grey Cup appearances. No, I just joking, obviously. But that's one of those things that's probably better. Like, it's a very private thing. I don't think that's meant to get out. There's things that people say that they would never want to get out. Like, that is completely between you. And I think you got to, true or false, you got to trust the person quite a bit before you go there.
Oh, my God, yes.
Certain things you're not.
That's not date 2.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It could
In a
be.
world of like screenshots and stuff, yep. I mean, there's got to be trust for sure.
I was just thinking verbal, but you're
Same
right,
here.
Kirby. People can text it and write it and
worst
email
is
your
when you-
coworkers with it.
Yeah.
Accidentally message the wrong person. That would be the worst in that situation, right? You craft one of those dirty text messages and to your partner, and the next thing you know, you send it to like your coworker, your boss.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't know,
big
your mom, your
oops.
dad.
That's where you triple check who's in the who you're sending it
Like,
to.
hey, what are you wearing? And
Right.
that goes to your mom, and your mom's like, I don't know, a nice outfit. Like,
Well, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? That isn't like on the scale of
that's pretty
about,
PG.
Right. That's about a 3.5. There's things that
You could almost get away with that to a relative and just say, we're just trying to match outfits. Oh, okay, Aunt. Okay, Aunt.
Philly Joe Kirby
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Call the Bone phone 780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
Dear citizens of Manitoba, please mind your P's and Q's. Try to hold on to what little patience you have left for school zones. Do not become one of the last victims of the year. We know that most of the students are done with school, but the school zone speeding tickets will go on until the end of this month. Be careful, be safe, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Professor. Witnessed this the other day. All the school buses are parked. There's a street where they all park where my youngest, well, at most schools. So there'll be like 5 school buses parked in front of the school. That's where they pick up the kids. You cannot drive down that road because all the stop signs are out, and everybody, 99% of the population knows, don't drive down that road either way during pickup. You're not going to get through that road. Well, somebody inevitably decides, well, I have to get down this road. And they come against traffic down that road, and they just sit there as if they're waiting for their child. And all of the buses started honking at him, and the bus driver like, get out of here. This is not a street you're allowed to drive down during pickup. But it just amazes me.
Absolute chaos.
Yeah, it is chaos. School zone pickups.
Rookie move.
Yeah, rookie move.
One guy said, what the hell's going on? I got bus people.
Yeah, you imagine how panicked the person was.
Oh,
I don't know what to do.
I can't imagine.
I'm surprised they didn't jump out and flee the scene.
Just leave their vehicle there.
Okay, this guy frustrated by cell phone use in vehicles.
What the hell is so gosh darn important on everybody's damn cell phones while the guy behind the wheel putting everybody at rest? Oh, wait, I know. Barnyard porn. Bingo!
Barnyard porn while you're driving. Man, I don't know about that. I don't know about, well, you shouldn't be using your phone, period, but barnyard porn?
Keep both hands on the wheel, please.
Imagine getting stopped with that on. Go ahead.
What are you watching there, buddy?
You can't get the volume turned down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't through your Bluetooth.
License and registration, sir.
I don't want to go through the old song, Old MacDonald, right now with all the sound effects going.
E-I-E-I-O.
We had the professor a couple seconds ago. Now the banker wants to talk about the streets of Winnipeg and specifically having somebody in town visiting, it sounds like.
Hey, the banker here. Had some people in from out of town this week and heading downtown. Thought I'd avoid Route 90, not a great route, and always backed up. Went down Alice, quickly got off there, started on Sargent. That wasn't good. Got to Portage, which was the best way back from the airport to go downtown. And then, had a couple of client visits from, had to go up Marion and back, and then, had to head back down Notre Dame to get to a client. Man, these are not nice routes. It's just not a good impression of the city. We got to do something about this.
We get that one all the time too. It's really helping tourism.
Yeah.
Manitoba, people flying in here going, "Kunk." You can't even have a conversation catching up with the person outside of the hug rug.
That's right.
Once you get back in your
Enjoy
car.
that hug rug, because that's as good as it's going to get. Once you get on our streets.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I recently went on the trolley tour there that they offer in the city. And the driver kept making a joke that, because there is a lot of people there that weren't from here and they're from the States. And every time we'd hit a pothole, the driver would say, "We're just making sure you're awake."
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, everyone's
Telling
awake, trust
the same
me.
joke every 30 seconds.
Okay, perimeter woes.
I'm so happy that mayor back in the day decided to put in the floodway to protect everybody. And it's so nice that they put in this lovely perimeter around the city. I just love that now I'm sitting on the perimeter, stopped in traffic twice. Why the perimeter has any lights on it at all, I don't understand. I just want to say thank you to Manitoba and to Winnipeg for thinking of me and putting in this excellent perimeter highway to get around the city so fast. And putting 17 stoplights on it.
Yeah.
And construction on it, on the north, the east, the west. We'll just do it all at once, and you'd be better off going through the city anyways.
Yeah, that perimeter frustration, right? Supposed to be fast, not so much most of the time.
Right. Well, on the south perimeter, I believe that whole big project is to alleviate some problems, right? Because of a big clover leaf like they did out in your end of town. That was the idea. But, we do get that one a lot about, especially if you're an out-of-towner.
Yeah.
Like driving through here going, why is your perimeter full of traffic lights? Is this like another city street? You don't know the answer.
We don't know.
We
Don't
don't know
ask.
the answer. I don't know.
Call the
Shoulder
phone.
shrug. I don't know.
We barely go. It's about once a month or so, but I feel like it's been a while since we had a zipper complaint. And whenever we get one about zippering,
It has been a hot minute.
It has been, but we'll always get 6 responses or a bunch of calls, and it'll carry on for about a week. So,
You know what really grinds my gears about these zipper merges? How everyone tries to get in before the actual zipper merge. Like if you put a one random link in a zipper halfway through your sweater, then try to zip it up, is it going to work? No. Come on, Winnipeg, have some common sense. Getting a little ridiculous here. We wait 30 minutes in one lane, and the other lane moves because you guys keep jumping in. I get it's conveniencing you, but it inconveniences the rest of the city. Come on, guys. Get with the program. We've had zipper lanes for how long? Zipper merges for how long? It's not rocket science here.
What a familiar complaint.
yeah. People don't know how to use them.
We've got on the Boston Pizza text line, as a traffic cop, if you're watching barnyard porn, I'm not touching your driver's license or registration.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
A big shout out to our friend Darren in St. Francis Xavier, the 92 city. Balloon is flying right behind his house on a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. So
Ooh, it would be a nice morning to be up there.
Balloon, baby. I
Yeah.
love when that thing's in the sky.
yeah.
Did you get that traffic tip?
Yeah, I did.
So Kirby is... No one's ever been more concerned about the traffic on the streets of Winnipeg than Kirby the last couple of months.
I tried so hard.
So you may just some like background. Kirby does a lot with digital, like our digital presence, social media.
Right.
So and we just kind of thought, you know what, Joe loves talking about the weather, and he's very good, and he keeps track of the traffic. Not that Kirby wasn't, but just a shuffling of duties in here to make sure everybody.
Kirby never knew how to say things properly.
That was fun. I love that.
Oh,
actually.
that was fun.
Yeah. So anyway, it wasn't a big deal. It was just like the boss suggested, "Hey, Joe, why don't you do traffic and weather? Let Kirby focus on some other things." So and that's how it went down. Well, ever since the responsibility shifted, Kirby has been on traffic like stink on a monkey. Like she comes in here, Joe, I got some notes for you. Give me your notepad. Here's what's happening in traffic this morning. Joe, did you see this? There's a guy. Looks like his car might stall in. He's second now on the perimeter. Do you got that?
Like a hobby now.
Yeah.
An enthusiast.
I just am helping my number one buddy with traffic.
Buddy.
We're still number one buddy.
She'll call him at 6 o'clock at night. Look, Joe, for tomorrow morning, there's some traffic things you got to worry about. I've never been more concerned about traffic in my life since I handed over the reins to you.
But number one buddies don't pass erroneous information along.
Well, I was driving down Provenche this morning and in St. B, and there's all these signs, and it's like, okay, there's construction happening and closures, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to affect the way that I go to work. So I'm going to tell Joe to look into it.
Can't wait to tell Joe.
So she opened up the city of Winnipeg map and broke down the area, and I'm going, well, that's weird. It can't be that big of an area, can it? She had it measured down to Provenche to Marion with the St. Boniface Hospital construction going on. And here's the real deal, because this affects her weekend, she said.
Yes.
Driving around. She said,
the hospital.
This is a big one. This is a big one, number one buddy. This thing's going to go on for a few months. I think you should give everybody a heads up as of 9 this morning. So,
Christmas. It'll be Christmas by the time this is cleaned up.
Obviously, Kirby got exhausted reading past line number 1 on the traffic info, because what it is this is so good. Taché Avenue, I'm reading this verbatim, will be closed between De La Cathedral and Despin. I believe I'm pronouncing those right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But Kirby didn't want to say those 2 words, so she gave me Provenche to Marion, a bit of a wider scope.
All of it for months.
And get this, Kirby's 4-month closure is actually tomorrow. So today through Sunday. I believe that's a weekend. We call that a weekend here in Manitoba.
Yeah.
Alberta, it's 4 months.
4 months.
And guess what it's for? Manhole work.
Okay.
This will affect access
manhole work
and parking around the St. Boniface Hospital. That's the only part of the story you got right.
Kirby facts.
Anyway, it was just fun.
Oh my God.
Listen,
I'm going to stop being concerned about
You know what? Just life is a number one buddy.
Yeah,
it's
what
all
it is.
good.
And you were there for me. You went and you did the work.
And you were
the
there
research.
for me. You read one line. I had to go in and read the whole story. That's what teams do, right?
Again,
right, buddy?
Hey.
Right, buddy.
Things that number 9 buddy over here doesn't have to worry about.
You're off the hook.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Don't forget about the PJK podcast that happens daily. The best bits of the morning with a little bit of extra spice thrown on that dish every day for you. And you can download that where you get your favorite podcasts. And we appreciate it because the numbers have been really good for the first week or so. So thank you for your continued support, really.
Subscribe, because then you get the notification. Honestly, that's the best way to do it.
It's a good listen out to, if you're driving out to the cabin this weekend or, you missed a show, you can just pop that on.
Doing yard work on the weights. Whatever.
On the weights in the front yard,
If you're throwing around the weights in the front yard.
I moved my bench to the backyard. They were getting complaints in the neighborhood.
Why?
Because I have no fence in the front.
Put the guns away. That's what those aren't licensed to yellow. Put them away. That's what they're saying.
I don't think it was that, but thank you.
I want to run this call. Yesterday, and this is something we do now on Thursdays, Thursday Throwdown. We take a couple of characters, it could be characters from movies, whatever. Yesterday, it was a goose versus a wild turkey. And we debated. And we put it up on social media. We get all kinds of commentary on the Boston Pizza text line. And this one was polarizing because, who hasn't had some form of a confrontation or a situation with a goose in Manitoba?
Yeah.
I think we all have.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday at Assiniboine Park, I avoided going down a trail because there was one with a bunch of babies. And I thought,
Good choice. Good choice.
That's exactly how they
That
sound.
goose would have beat your ass. We've learned that with the
I
wings.
was terrified.
The wings are like a Muay Thai kick.
And I had a stroller. I was babysitting yesterday, and I didn't want to take on a goose with that thing.
No,
so.
you shouldn't. But let's be clear. They're not a danger to kids. I just want to, you're not, people aren't running from geese in the streets
go
with
down
their
a
kids.
trail where there's a bunch of geese and
I
then
think you're okay.
babies.
I think you're okay, just to be clear.
They're protective.
There was a nursery rhyme called Mother Goose, okay?
Oh,
That's for children.
Mother Goose.
They wouldn't have named it Mother Goose if they were a danger to kids. Okay?
Run! There's geese! Get in the car! And then wild turkeys, we all know how intimidating they can be. They call them a gang when there's more than one.
I agree.
So we debated it all morning, and then we got this call on the bone phone from Motorhead Guy. And I want to play it because this guy is rural Manitoba. If anybody knows...
He works on a dairy farm, right?
That's right. He knows a lot about animals, so it's good that he weighed in.
Hey, Billy Joe and Kirby, it's Motorhead Guy. You guys are talking about a goose versus a turkey. So we got to consider the fact that a goose can have an aerial attack. The goose can oh, look at that turkey on the ground. Let's go up. So then he can just swoop down and crash into the turkey, take out the turkey, and then just start slapping on him. And flap, 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 and then bite him. And I think the goose would take that turkey and send him 6 feet down, man. Those geese, man, I hate those motherfuckers. But a turkey, they're so stupid. You can just they cross the road and they're oh, go, go, go. Oh, go, go, go. Anyway, the goose would win. So have a great day. Let's go, Bombers. Go to the game tonight. Woo!
Okay.
They need an aerial attack too.
Oh,
the Bombers.
they ever.
That was it was interesting. So he had a different version of Mother Goose there.
Yes,
he had
he
to
did.
beep out a couple extras.
And the sound effects were what put it over for me, the opinion.
Yeah, the whole play-by-play. That was something.
Whap, whap, whap.
Yeah.
Also I got another call from Hot Dog Guy that we'll play later this morning too, but I just realized as we were both that I didn't edit it up. So we don't want the swears on the air, so I'll edit that up and we'll play it because Hot Dog Guy used to work at a golf course.
Play the call. Play the call. Just kidding.
It was hard to understand what the Motorhead Guy was trying to say, though, even with the beep, wasn't it?
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
PJK Extra. Philly Joe and Kirby. We appreciate your enjoying your usage of the podcast. Usage doesn't feel right. We appreciate
You listening? I don't know.
Your support.
support of the podcast.
Thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Usage
what? How
sounds too
you missed
impersonal.
out. I'd love to see some of the personal cards you've written over the years.
No, Phil is the type that buys a card and signs his name. He doesn't
Yeah.
write anything
Hey,
extra. I'm telling you right now.
I will say this, though.
Nothing at all.
You make up for it, though, with the quality and creativity of the card itself. I'll give you full marks for
put
that.
a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, most guys aren't putting that kind of effort in, but you do put the effort.
I
That's
like
your
that.
hallmark moment. You're not writing it.
The singing cards. I
Yeah.
like finding those. Who doesn't laugh when they get a singing card?
Yeah.
They open it up. Oh, it's singing.
You're
at you.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
This question came up because Father's Day was just a few days ago, and it was a certain percentage of young adults. I think it was about 60% of young adults ages 18 to about 24 would call dad before mom if this happened. And the number one answer was getting juiced.
Yeah.
If you got that intoxicated, you'd probably go to dad before you would mom. And then the other two answers in the top three were if there was damage done to the house, maybe you took the stripping off of the garage door, moving the car, something like that, you'd call dad. But the other answer was vehicle related, and that was about crashing the family car, getting into an accident, you'd call dad.
I can tell you, growing up, my mom had absolute wonderful grace when it came to me getting in trouble at school. So my dad just had no patience for that. He was a hammer when it came to that stuff, and it was big trouble. He thought I should stop being such a dick at school and just behave and get better marks. But I don't know.
Look at you now.
Yeah, right. Class clown, school idiot. But at least that's his words. But so I'll just give you one story. Report card. No, it wasn't a report card. I got in trouble at home or at school once, and I needed both my parents to sign something that I had, like, you remember having to do, it probably was like an essay on why you'll start behaving or some garbage to do with it. Not garbage. I deserved it, but to do with a detention. And so I did it. And then I said, Mom, is there any way, can you do me a solid here? Does Dad have to know about this? And she looked at me, she signed her name, signed his name, and then handed it to me and said, now smarten up, because this is the last time I'll do this for you.
Last time I'm going to fraudulently sign your father's name and set a good example. No, that's awesome. That's a great mom.
Yeah, helping a brother out.
My mom was the hard ass. I'm not going to lie. Everybody feared her in my family. So my dad was the go-to. And I remember when I was learning how to drive, my mom had initially started to teach me. She would take me out driving. And then there was one day I took a corner really, really sharp and almost had the vehicle on two wheels. So my mom said, that's enough. It's your turn, Howard. And I called my dad for everything. Like, he taught me how to drive, anything to do with the vehicle, get in an accident, call Dad. He'll figure it out. And there's a lot of like, well, we're not going to tell your mom about this.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, the first time we met your father, Howard, we knew right away you were Daddy's little girl. There was nothing had to be said or done. That's just the way it was, right?
We don't need you telling us that. Yeah, we figured it out right quick.
But and that's good. That's good. I mean, that's why that song gets played at weddings still to this day, right? The father-daughter dance, Daddy's little girl. But I'll tell you, listen, in my house, it was as old school got, right? My mom never drove. My mother never got her license. She just worked or was a housewife at some points, or just a mom, right? Raising her two boys. So you grew up in an Italian household, there's a good chance you're a mama's boy going in. So there were certain things you just never went to Dad about. My dad was a hard ass with me. My brother was the favorite kid.
Yeah.
So that you double dip into that. You're not going to him for many things. I told you before.
Yes.
At this point in my life, Dad and I still haven't had the birds and the bees talk, okay? So, I mean, every family's different, but...
Sounds like we were similar, though. Dad was a hammer. He had no patience.
They're the same age.
Yeah.
They went to work. They didn't want to be bothered when they got home with more BS, right? They just wanted to have their little siesta on the couch there till dinner was ready, let's say.
Yeah.
In my house, I was lucky. My dad got home before my mom, though, and he was a great cook, too. So
nice.
He'd have his little moments after dinner on the couch, but none of them wanted to come home from work and hear any BS about one of the boys.
Oh, my mom used to say when we'd be fighting, your dad's going to be home soon.
Yes.
And let me tell you, he's having a rough day. You guys better start behaving.
Mom just assumed he was having a rough day because he always came home cranky.
Oh, my God.
That's PJK Extra.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Ooh. Joe, what'd you eat yesterday?
Lisa Joe's got the feeling.
I ate great. I was on a golf course yesterday for the Children's Rehabilitation Foundation golf tournament over at Breezy Bend. Hey, by the way, my good buddy Corey Johnson there wanted me to say hi to you guys.
Corey's the best. Yeah.
They had some great stuff on the golf course yesterday. You know, some tournaments you never know, right? They had Firehouse subs.
Oh, I love Firehouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Firehouse subs.
Yeah.
They had Boston Pizza. Al was tremendous. One of the holes.
I like the holes where you get free booze, you know?
Yeah, they had quite a few of those, too.
Love me some Boston Pizza as well. So what you're trying to say, Joe, is the guts are gurgling in a good way today. Like, it's happy guts.
Absolutely happy.
There's certainly, like, you know that gurgle where it's like, yeah, yesterday was a good day kind of gurgle. Like there's some beer in there, maybe a couple of rums, and then lots of different kinds of food. And you're like, man, that was fun. That kind of gurgle, which is what we want with Joe's gut feeling, because there's two massive sporting events tonight. We've got to play this with the Oilers in action.
I got drunk and whipped my out at an Oilers game and they went viral. F you if you don't like it. Woo! Go Oilers.
That's right. F you if you don't like it.
I just can't. I'm going to Alberta next week and I can't wait.
Look her up. See if she'll have lunch with you.
I should.
You're going to be there during Stampede?
Yeah, well,
Right,
in
it
the
starts-
Edmonton area. Yeah.
Oh, that's only in Calgary. They don't make it all Alberta, I guess. Eh?
No, not all of Alberta.
Okay, Jojo. So you got. I don't mean to. This is a tough spot for you because look, Bombers are 0-2. They're still 2.5-point favorites tonight. BC Lions in town. We'll start with that game. What's your sense? Are we going to see the best Bombers we've seen so far?
I think they're too banged up. I think the Bombers are still that banged up. And listen, if my gut's telling me after last year, those games against BC were close, right? Even though, I mean, there was one game I believe we scored a lot more points, but the game was really close.
Yeah.
It came to a couple plays. I believe this is going to come down to a field goal. Either way. And yet, my gut's telling me, I got to take my emotion out of this because, you know, I'm a Bomber season ticket holder. I have to believe the BC Lions are going to win this game tonight.
Why do you
By a field
do
goal.
that to me?
Well, I'm not going to lie to anybody.
No. I'm not saying like I got you. Yeah,
Otherwise, why are we going to do the gut feeling? Be the Bombers every week, right?
I'm picking the Bombers.
16-0. So, and I also believe the Florida Panthers will win in Edmonton tonight to wrap up the series.
Joe, you are just full of like
predictions. That's what we're asking them
I
for.
guess so.
I think the two visitors win tonight. Hey, I'll tell you right now, the guy to my left right here, he took Florida in 6 games. What would tonight be?
That's right. Florida in 6. Can I say this? Connor McDavid, like, if they
unbelievable.
If they complete the comeback somehow, like,
crazy.
If they win, if they were to come back and win in 7, this is like that legacy moment that we've been waiting for the greatest player, hockey player on earth, and they're already saying, regardless of what happens, even if Florida wins tonight, McDavid's getting the Conn Smythe, which in a losing cause is like is crazy.
Listen, I grew up as a Boston Red Sox fan. They were down 3-0 with 1 out remaining to the New York Yankees. So I've seen a miracle happen in sports. If it happens in hockey, as a hockey fan, it would be wonderful to see because that's a Hollywood ending. But I just have a feeling Paul Maurice gets his first cup tonight in Edmonton.
So, hypothetically speaking, the Oilers win.
Yeah.
Then they play again in
Florida. Game 7, yeah.
And then hypothetically speaking, they win that game.
They win the cup.
Yeah, and then they celebrate, hypothetically, the week after, which
when you're
means
there.
I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, man, I would 110% go take in those. I'm not even an Oilers fan.
Game
but
7.
I would be there during that celebration. I would 100%
gotta go.
Well, Game 7 would be Monday night, Curbs.
Okay.
This week. So by the time you
I'm in
rolling,
Alberta, we'll be ready to celebrate if hypothetically
you'd
they
be
win.
you'd be late. The parade would have happened. But you know what? It wouldn't be your first parade you've been late for.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
$200 on the table today.
Yeah, I want to thank our friends at Metal Supermarkets as well. Go see them for all your metal type needs. $200, as you mentioned, Phil, up for grabs. Not too shabby going into a Friday.
Let's see if Jack, can claim this money.
Hello.
How are you today, Jack?
I'm great.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
You know what? Monday we're playing a new game called Over Under. How many songs can Kirby fit into the show? Today is matching yesterday's record of 3.
It's Kirby's. Yeah. This is Kirby's life is a musical, and we're all living in it. So.
Yes, the book is coming out, Kirby on Kirby. We haven't come up a name for the musical yet. The one-woman show.
That's right.
Jack, what do you do for a hobby?
I'm a metal contractor.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Nice.
Perfect. Perfect guy to play.
Yeah. Okay, so you know how it works probably, Jack. You got to pick either Philly Joe and Kirby. We spin the big dumb wheel. If it lands on the name you picked, you got 200 bones.
Okay.
Who are you going to go with?
I'm going with Philly.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
2 days in a row. I got to deliver a winner today.
You got to deliver a winner.
You used the hand lotion.
Oh, I washed it off.
That thing. The wheel would have spun right out of his hands. That stuff.
You said it was too greasy.
Hold on. Phil, you got 2 cups of coffee. One on each side of the wheel.
You got to move those.
That's a disaster waiting to happen.
You've already dumped coffee on one piece.
You get in
of
trouble.
equipment.
I already spilled coffee all over the electronics in here.
I know.
It was only $6,000 piece of equipment. But.
Riley, the engineer, fixed it. Don't worry about it. Okay.
You are playing the game of chance here today, aren't you? Okay, Jack. He's focused now. He's focused. There it is.
Come on, I want a winner with picking my name here.
Let's see here. Joe, Philly, Kirby, Joe, Philly, Kirby, Joe, Joe, Philly, Kirby, Joe,
Come on,
Philly.
come on.
Yes!
Yeah! Woo!
Way to go, Jack. You made the right pick.
Perfect.
Yeah, $200 coming your way, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And a little song from Kirby off the air.
Hit the road. Oh, no, off the air. Okay, I'll sing it to you.
Yeah,
off the air.
please.
Okay.
Actually, right out, not only off the air, right outside of the room.
How about when you deliver the check to Jack far, far away?
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.